And we are live. Little bit delayed, guys. A little bit delayed. Sorry about that. Let me just get things set up. Who is going to be first to join today? Let me just join on my own phone on the TikTok. Let's see. Are we live? Collie Louise says, hello, sir. Okay, we're live. Guys, let me know. Can you hear me? Okay, now we're up on the TikTok as well. Beautiful. Hello, she. Hello, Maria. Guys, I'm sorry today's session was a little bit delayed getting started. Hopefully you weren't waiting for too long. Beck says, hi. Hey, guys, good to have you on at this time. Sorry I'm a few minutes late, like I said. The plan was originally to start at 5 o'clock. However, I did have some issues with my software, so I had to get things set back up. But the good news is we are back. Talk to me, guys. Talk to me in the chat. How was the English literature today? Chloe says, hello. Good to have you, Chloe. Good to see you. Guys, tell me, how was English literature today? Chloe said, what time do you call this? Tut. Yeah, what time do I call this? I'm sorry I was a few minutes later than I said, guys. I just had a few issues getting the software set up. User 123456 said, hi, sir. How are you? How was your day? My day's been very good, thank you. Hamza says, hello again. Guys, let me know on the YouTube. How was today? Nobody's let me know in the chat yet. How was the literature today? Data on top says, Mrs. Burlington, question wasn't too bad. Hey, that's good to hear. Ikra with a K says, the English had a question on leadership for Lord of the Flies. Okay. I'm actually not familiar with those texts, but it sounds like they're reasonable questions, to be honest. It sounds like they're reasonable questions. This evening, guys, is going to be quite a chilled out session. We're going to be getting today's paper done by 7 o'clock, so I'm going to be live from now until 7. Probably we're not going to have too long at the end for a Q&A. Today's paper isn't too long. I think we have about 22 questions or something, 22 questions or so. Ikra with a K said the unseen poetry was not too good. Tell me, what was the poem about? A couple of people are saying what year. Guys, this is the Edexcel 2022 paper 2 higher tier. This is a 2022 paper. I don't know why they stopped putting the years on the papers. It's super annoying. But yeah, this is the 2022 paper. I know a few of you might have done this one before, but it's still going to be really good practice. For anybody who doesn't know, actually, I need to rearrange this a little bit because I see that the chat on the TikTok is blocking it. But basically, this is supposed to say also live on YouTube. The recording is uploaded. That actually looks a bit clearer. Yeah, I just need to, I need to move that up a little bit, don't I? Somebody saying, is Edexcel and AQA the same? They're not exactly the same, but they're very, very similar. They're similar enough so that if you do AQA, this will still be very good practice. I'm going to be starting in just a couple of minutes, guys, giving people a chance to join. Tan says, do you have any predictions for paper 2? I am going to be doing predicted topics, but I haven't done them yet just because I have a lot of stuff that I need to go through, lots on my plate, so they will be coming, but they are not out yet. Manu says, I thought you weren't going to come on live for a sec. Hey, we're here. It's inevitable. Yeah, sorry I was a few minutes late today, guys. I did have some issues getting things set up, but we are all good to go now. Somebody said, will you do some live streams in the week off? Guys, in the week off, I'm going to be live every single day. So normally I go live every day. I'm live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week. Then I'm actually away Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I won't be going live those days, but then I'm going to be live every single day until the end of GCSE Maths. Guys, the time is 1:15, so we are going to get going. But before that, it is time to announce the final set of practice paper winners from the collaboration with Maths Made Easy. MME Premium was the sponsor of this stream, guys, and they agreed to give away 10 sets of practice papers every live stream that was sponsored, and the final sponsored stream was the other night. So, guys, if you're on this list, congratulations. MME Revise is going to be in touch via the DMs. You have won a set of predicted papers, and they are going to be sorting the details with you. You can choose whether you want the grade 9 predicted papers, whether you want a different set of predicted papers. They're just going to ask for your address so they can post them to you. Guys, if you're on this list, congratulations. They will be getting in touch via the DMs. Okay, without further ado then, that's enough of that. Let's get on with question number 1. We have 5 marks up for grabs here. Questions 1, A, B, and C. Let's see what we can do. Any questions? Let me know in the chat now, guys. I'm going to take the opportunity to slow things down a little bit. Hamza.s612 said, how will they DM me? They'll DM you on TikTok. They'll DM you on TikTok. You just need to make sure you're following their account so they can DM. Somebody said, wait for me. I'm almost home. Question 1, ABC, guys, giving you another few seconds. What do we think? Dot said, as an A-level student, I kind of miss the maths. Okay, part 1A, guys, let's have a look. This one says, simplify x cubed to the power of 5. Drop your answers in the chat. Coley Louise thinks it's x to the power of 15. Chloe thinks it's x to the power of 15. A thinks it's x to the power of 15. Guys, if you thought x to the power of 15, congratulations, you are correct. What is the rule here, guys? It's when we have a base to a power, and we raise that whole thing to another power, we have to multiply the powers. In this case, we do 3 times by 5, which is 15. Congratulations if you got that one, guys. What about 1B? Take the opportunity now, guys, to drop your answer in the chat for this one. Talk to me, talk to me. What do you think is the answer to 1B? Let me know on the YouTube. We're up to 16 people on the YouTube now, which is absolutely awesome. Guys, if you're not aware, I'm live on YouTube at the same time as being live on TikTok. All of the recordings of the live streams are also uploaded to the YouTube channel under the live tab. So go and subscribe if you haven't already. Guys, 1B, let's have a look. A couple of people have put answers in the chat, but not too many. This one says expand and simplify 4 times by x plus 3 plus 7 times by 4 minus 2x. Step number 1, guys, we're going to expand our bracket. So we do 4 times by x, which is 4x. Then we do 4 times by 3, which is 12. Then we're going to expand our other brackets. We have 7 times by 4, which is 28. And then we have 7 times by minus 2x, guys. That's going to be minus 14x. Next step, we can collect our like terms. We're going to do our 12 plus our 28, which is going to give us 40. And then we can do 4 minus 14x. 4 minus 14, guys, is going to be 10. So we have minus 10x in total, giving us our answer to 1B of 40 minus 10x. Guys, if you got that one, superb job. I've seen quite a few people putting that in the chat. Congratulations if you got that one. What about 1C then, guys? 2 marks up for grabs in this one. This says factorize fully 15x cubed plus 3x squared y. Guys, to factorize this fully, what we need to do is pull out all of the common factors of our 2 terms. We can see that we're going to have a common factor of 3 because 3 goes into 15 and it also goes into 3. And we're going to have a common factor of x squared because x squared goes into x cubed and x squared also goes into the right-hand side. On the outside, then, we're going to have 3x squared. What do we times by 3x squared to get 15x cubed? It's going to be 5x. And what do we times by 3x squared to get 3x squared y? We're just going to times it by y, giving us our answer, guys, of 3x squared times 5x plus y. Guys, if you got that, superb work. AR said 3x squared times 5x plus 1y. If you wrote a 1 in there, guys, you'd still get the mark. That's absolutely fine. You don't need it. However, it is still going to be okay either way. Guys, now moving on to question number 2. And I am just going to do this one for you because I know a lot of you don't have the paper printed off. This question says, describe fully the single transformation that maps shape S onto shape T. So from this shape to this shape. Guys, how do we get from this shape to this shape? Well, they're facing the same direction and they're exactly the same size. So what we're going to have is we're going to have a translation. In other words, we just pick up this shape and we move it. To work out what the translation is, let me write translation in first of all. What we're going to do is we're going to choose one of the points on our shape and see how many we have to go across and up to get to the other shape. Let's choose the top left-hand point. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up. The column vector for a movement of 5 to the left and 6 up is going to be minus 5, 6, giving us our answer, guys, of a translation of minus 5, 6. The top number tells us our x direction. If it's positive, we move to the right, and if it's negative, we move to the left. Our bottom number tells us a movement in the y direction. Positive, we move up. Negative, we move down. In this case, going from S to T, we go 5 to the left and we go 6 up, giving us our translation by the vector of -5, 6. Very, very common mistake for this question, guys, is going from T to S. Instead of going from S to T, I know a couple of people in the chat have said that they got that one mixed up. They misread it. Be super careful with those ones. They do often try and trip you up. Guys, question number 3. Let's have a look at this one. I'm not going to give you too long for this. It says the length of a football pitch is 90 meters, correct to the nearest meter. Complete the error interval for the length of the football pitch. Guys, what do we think? Put your answer in the chat for this one. Francis said, I just came. What are you trying to do? This evening, we are doing a past paper. This is the EdXL June 2022 Paper 2 higher tier. Tom N says 89.5 to 90.5. Congratulations. Really, really good job, mate. You are exactly right. The question says the length of a football pitch is 90 meters, correct to the nearest meter. Complete the error interval, error, for the length of the football pitch. What does the error interval tell us, guys? It tells us the different values that our number could have taken before it was rounded. What's the smallest possible value that would round up to 90 to the nearest meter? That would be 89.5. And what's the biggest number that would round down? It would be it would be 90.499999. So 90.499999. However, it's not very practical to write this out, so instead we don't do the or equal to sign and we just write 90.5 instead. What this represents is that x could be as close to 90.5 as possible, but it can't actually be 90.5 because 90.5 would round up. This gives us our answer, guys, that x is less than or equal to, x is greater than or equal to 89.5 and x is less than 90.5. Guys, if you got that one, superb job. 5 seconds to screenshot this page. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to be moving on to question number 4. We have 4 marks up for grabs in this one, guys, so I'm going to give you a little bit longer than for the previous 2, and I'm also going to be looking at the chat now, so if you guys have any questions, let me know. Somebody asking if I'm going to be showing grade boundaries at the end. I wasn't actually going to show grade boundaries. We could talk about grade boundaries if you want to for this paper. That's probably not a bad idea, actually. Maybe I'll do that in the lives going forward. So I won't do that today. But yeah, that's a good idea. I'll do that going forwards. Let's see, guys. What do we think? Nice to see a bunch of the regulars over on the YouTube. Good to have you, Mary B. Good to have you, Fire Steam. Good to have you, Libra B. I see you've changed your name around. Good to have you, Maria. Awesome, guys. Awesome. Lily is back in the chat. Good to have you, Lily. Gigglesome. I think you've been here a few times as well. A couple of people are saying, too lazy to read, not going to lie. Yep, I know a lot of people will probably be skipping this question, waiting for me to go through it. That is okay, but give it a go if you can. Guys, drop ready in the chat when you're ready for me. And we will talk about question number 4. Question number 4, guys. Drop ready in the chat when you're ready, and we can talk about it. Nice to see that we are up to 18 people on the YouTube. I think it's making a difference having this little banner here. That's really nice to see. $ is ready. Francis Jake, the best man, is ready. Rio de Janeiro is ready. Wow, the entire city. Guys, question number 4, let's have a look. This one says, Festival A will be in a rectangular field with an area of 80,000 meters squared. The greatest number of people allowed to attend Festival A is 425. Festival B is going to be in a rectangular field which is 700 by 2,000 meters. The greatest number of people allowed to attend Festival B is 6,750. The area per person allowed for Festival B is greater than the area per person allowed for Festival A. How much greater? Guys, what we're going to have to do is work out the area per person in both of the festivals and compare them. Festival A, first of all, let's write this in. To work out the area per person, we're going to do our area divided by the number of people. In this case, we know that our area is 80,000. We know that our number of people is 425. So we can do 80,000 divided by 425. When we do that, guys, we're going to get 188.2 to 1 decimal place. Now, what about festival B? Again, we're going to be doing our area divided by our number of people. In this case, we don't know the area at the moment. All we know is that it's a rectangle with width 700 and length 2000. To work out the area of a rectangle, guys, we do width times by length. So on the top, we're going to have our area, which is going to be 700 times by 2000. And on the bottom, we're going to have our number of people, which is 6,750. Guys, this gives us something that we can type into our calculator. 700 times by 2,000 on the top, and on the bottom, 6,750. What are we going to get, guys? We're going to get 207.4. Again, that is to 1 decimal place. Looking back at the question, it says how much greater is the area per person in Festival B than in Festival A? So we're going to do our area per person in Festival B, 207.4, minus our area per person in Festival A, 188.2. Guys, we can type this into our calculator, and when we do 207.4 minus 188.2, we are going to get 19.2 as our answer. Give your answer correct to the nearest whole number, guys. So we're going to round 19.2 down to 19 because that 2 is less than 5 in our first decimal place. So we get our final answer of 19. W said you divide, not minus. It's asking per person. So that's what we did here. We worked out per person over here by doing the division. Then it asks how much greater. So we found the difference in the amount per person. If you got that one, guys, superb job. I'm now going to put our next question on the screen, and I'm just going to do this one for you because a lot of people are going to skip this just because it's a little one marker. It says Callum saves 300 centimeters. Actually, no, I'll let you guys do this. Guys, let me know in the chat, what should he have done? What should he have done? So Callum says 300 centimeters squared is the same as 3 meters squared because there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter, so you divide by 100. Guys, what do we reckon? Hey, NJ, good to have you. Baldy, good to have you. Hey, the YouTube community is growing. These are things I'm loving to see. It's getting more and more popular. Quite a few of the comments are getting filtered. I'm not sure why that is. C said because it's squared. W said times by 10,000 because it's centimeters squared. Yep, you are exactly right. So what's the rule here, guys? When we convert from centimeters to meters, or sorry, from meters to centimeters, we times by 100. So 3 meters would be equal to 300 centimeters. We times by 100. But when we go from meters squared to centimeters squared, what we have to do is we have to do our times by 100 twice. We have to do our times by 100 twice. So in other words, we have to times by 10,000. We're going to end up with 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, 30,000 centimeters squared. This, guys, is our area conversions topic. And the rule is whenever you convert from one area to another area, you have to do the regular conversion twice instead of once. So here we have to times by 100 twice instead of timesing by 100 once. Guys, if you got that one, superb work. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. 5 seconds to screenshot this page. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm going to put questions 5 and 6 on the screen. 7 marks up for grabs in total here. Talk to me in the chat. Let's have a look. NJ said my exams are going well and I'm going to leave this stream up. Hey, that's good to hear. That's good to hear, NJ. I know you've been putting in the work, so yeah, you definitely deserve it. Robin said, what about meters squared to centimeters? That's a superb question, and I'm guessing you mean from meters squared to centimeters squared. Then what you have to do is you have to divide by 100 twice. So the regular conversion from centimeters to meters would be divide by 100. Then to go from centimeters squared to meters squared, you divide by 100 twice. Question 5 is a tricky one, guys. This is definitely going to trip a lot of people up. I'm going to give you another 30 seconds or so to think about this one. Then I'm going to talk about it. Ansh Tiwari said, I'm from India, bro. You're doing great. Hey, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Nice to see that people from all around the world are joining. Great to hear the content is helping. Nice to see we're up to 25 people on the YouTube as well. 27 people. Could you leave this stream up after? Yeah, guys. So the YouTube, every single live stream is recorded and uploaded straight to the YouTube. So I go live on YouTube and TikTok at the same time. And to find it on the YouTube channel, you just have to go under the live tab. You click on the live tab and then you can see all of the live recordings. I think some people maybe come over from the TikTok to the YouTube, try and find the live recording. They look on the videos section and then they don't see the live recording. You have to go on the live section in order to see the live recordings. Question number 5, guys. Drop ready in the chat when you're ready for this one. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Quite a few people are dropping answers in the chat. Reese thinks it's 10.512. Mawai is ready. Collie Louise is ready. C is ready. Guys, let's talk about question number 5. Question number 5 says, the points L, M, and N are such that LMN is a straight line. The coordinates of L are -3, 1. The coordinates of M are 4, 9. Given that the ratio of L to M to N is 2 to 3, find the coordinates of N. Guys, what we're going to do is we're going to work out how we get from L to M. Then we're going to divide it by 2 to find one part of our ratio. Then we're going to times it by 3 to find 3 parts of our ratio. Then we're going to add that on to point M. Let's get it done. So what's the vector from L to M? Or how do we get from L to M? Well, in the x direction, we go from -3 to 4. So we add 7 in the x direction. And in the y direction, we go from 1 to 9. So we add 8 in the y direction. So that first vector is 7, 8. And that's going to represent 2 parts of our ratio. So now working out one part of our ratio, we're going to divide this by 2. So I'm going to just do 7, 8 divided by 2. On the top, we're going to get half of 7, which is 3.5. And on the bottom, we're going to get 4, which is half of 8. That's one part of our ratio. We want to find 3 parts now. So we are going to do 3 times by 3.54. On the top, we're going to have 3 times by 3.5, which is going to be 10.5. And on the bottom, we're going to have 3 times by 4, which is 12. So this, guys, is how we get from M to N, 3 parts of our ratio. We know where M is. M is the coordinate 4, 9. So now what we need to do to find our new coordinates is we need to go 10.5 to the right of M, and we need to go 12 up. So to find our x coordinate, we're going to do 4 plus 10.5, which is 14.5. And to find our y coordinate, we're going to do our 9 plus our 12, which is 21, giving us our answer of 14.5, 21. Those are the coordinates of N. Guys, if you got that one, superb work. Difficult question there, difficult question. A combination of the vectors topic and the ratio topic. Question number 6 on the screen now. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes for this one. Chaya said, why did you times by 3? The reason that we multiplied by 3 was because when we divided by 2, that found one part of our ratio, then timesing by 3 brought it up to the 3 parts of our ratio, because that in our ratio, that was the number of parts for mn. That allowed us to find the vector. From there, we could apply that vector to the coordinates of m, which was 4, 9. Guys, question number 6. I'm going to give you another 30 seconds or so. The YouTube chat is popping off today. Nice to see the community growing. Everybody talking about the literature exams today, about what we compared kamikaze to. Awesome. Heidi says, yo, what? I did this paper today. Good revision, good revision. Animex said this one is really annoying. Guys, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Question number 6. This one says a new phone cost £679. The value of the phone decreases at a rate of 4% per year. work out the value of the phone at the end of 3 years. What we have to do, guys, is we have to decrease 679 by 4% 3 times because it's for 3 years. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 679 times by, what is our percentage multiplier for a 4% decrease? That's going to be 0.96. So we times by 0.96 3 times. If we want to, we could write this as 679 times by 0.96 cubed. Those are both going to be fine. We could also do it by finding 4%, taking it away, finding 4% of that, taking it away, finding 4% of that, taking it away. Either way is going to be okay. Let me type into my calculator now, guys. 679 times by 0.96 to the power of 3. When we do that, we get 600.7357. This is money, guys, so we're going to round it to 2dp. When we round it to 2dp, what do we get? We get £600 and 74 pence. That is going to be our answer to that one. Quite a few people are asking, where does this 0.96 come from? This, guys, is our percentage multiplier for a 4% decrease. If that's a little bit confusing, guys, feel free to watch my short form content, which talks about percentage change and percentage multipliers. It will explain it there. It will explain it there. I know that will have tripped a lot of people up, though. Okay, guys, 5 seconds to screenshot this page. 5, 4. Actually, I'll zoom out a little bit further. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we are going to move on to question number 7. 4 marks up for grabs again here, guys. So I am going to give you a few minutes. Looking at the chat now. Hey, nice to see even more of us on the YouTube now. Up to 27. That's fantastic. I think maybe it makes a difference having this here. Also live on. Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, a couple of people are saying this question was on foundation. Yep, we are in the overlap portion of the paper still. So this could come up in foundation. J. Cool said, sir, I have a question. Are you going to be doing IGCSE paper 2 and 2 HR? I'm not going to be doing IGCSE. I'm just going to be sticking to EdXL and AQA, not the IGCSE side of things, just because the majority of people do it. Mary B says, hello, Matt. Hello, Mary B. Hopefully today's gone well for you. Hey, thank you, Ishi FTBL. I can see you're trying to run the likes up. I appreciate that a lot. Adora says, I struggled a bit with the poetry because I was convinced it was going to be about prelude. I know a lot of people were thinking that. Guys, drop ready in the chat when you're ready for this one. And we're going to talk about question number 7. The best way to do this, I would say, is to convert this into pounds per litre, or euros per litre, or euros per gallon, or pounds per gallon, and to do it that way. Collie Louise is ready on the YouTube. Success is ready on the TikTok. Ishi FTBL is ready. Guys, question 7, let's have a look. This one says, in Spain, Sam pays 27 euros for 18 litres of petrol. In Wales, Leo pays £40.80 for 8 gallons of the same type of petrol. €1 is equal to 85 pence. 4.5 litres is equal to 1 gallon. Sam thinks that petrol is cheaper in Spain than in Wales. Is Sam correct? So, guys, what we're going to have to do here is find some way to compare the two prices. The way that we're going to do that is we're going to find the number of pounds per litre in Spain, pounds per litre in Wales, and that will allow us to compare them. Now, you could do it in a couple of different ways. You could convert it into, for example, euros per litre or pounds per gallon and euros per gallon. I'm just going to go with pounds per litre because I think that's going to be easiest, but you can do it in many different ways. So let's have a look at Spain first of all. What happens in Spain? Well, in Spain, it's 27 euros for 18 litres. Step number 1, we're going to convert our 27 euros into pounds. We know that €1 is 85 pence, so to convert it into pounds, we can do 27 times by 0.85. 27 times by 0.85, guys, that is going to be 22.95. Now to find our pound per litre, we're going to do our number of pounds. 22.95 divided by our number of litres, 18 litres, 22.95 divided by 18, guys. That is going to give us 1.275. Where do we go from there, guys? Let's work out the price per litre in Wales. This time we know that it's £40.80, so we have our amount of money, but it's in gallons. So we're going to start off by converting gallons into litres. We know that 1 gallon is 4.5 litres. We have 8 gallons, so we guys can do 8 times by 4.5 to get our number of litres, which I'm pretty sure is 36. 8 times, actually, is it going to be, let's have a look. Yep, 36, perfect. So we have 36 litres. Now finding our pound per litre, we do our number of pounds. £40.80 divided by our number of litres, 36. 40.8 divided by 36. That, guys, is going to give us 1.13 reoccurring. So, is Sam correct that petrol is cheaper in Spain than in Wales? We can see that in Spain it's £1.275, so £1.28 roughly, and in Wales it's £1.13. So no, he's not correct. It is actually cheaper in Wales. Guys, if you got that one, great work. Talk to me in the chat. Let's see. 5 seconds to screenshot this one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Afnan said, got it. Good work, Afnan. Good to have you back. Questions 8 and 9 on the screen. Quite a lot of work, I would say, in these ones. Chaya said, why do you divide by 18 and 36? The reason that I did that was just to convert it into pounds per litre, basically. So in both of the cases, we had a different number of litres being bought. So to convert it into pounds per litre, so we could compare the prices, we divide by the number of litres there. We divide by the number of litres. We always tend to do the first part of the paper pretty quickly, guys, and then tend to slow down a little bit in the second part. I know I'm speaking pretty fast. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Somebody's saying I have no calculator at the moment. Have a look at question 9 in that case and see what you can do. Guys, I'm going to go through question number 8 now. I'm going to go through question number 8 now. Just because this is a calculator one, it says use your calculator to work out the value of this. All that we have to do for this one is type this long expression into our calculator, and if we do, what are we going to get? So we have fraction button, then we have cubed root, then inside the cube root we have 1.57 to the power of 4, then we have plus tan 60, and on the bottom we have 7.2 to the power of a half. We type that in, guys, and when we do so we get 0.739337, etc., rounding to 3 significant figures, guys. Our first significant figure is going to be the first non-zero digit, so that's that one. To round to 4 sig figs, we look at to 3 sig figs, we look at our fourth one. Because it is below 5, we round down, so our number is going to be 0.739. Emma Kelly said, how do you do power of a half on a calculator? Great question. I'll answer that in just a second. Putting question 9 on the screen so you guys can have a look at that one. But yeah, you are allowed a calculator for that. How do you do the power of a half on a calculator? I'm not sure which calculator that you have, but have a look at the button above the tan on there. I don't know if you can see it, if it's blurry. The button above the tan, can you see it? It has like a black square with a little white square to the top right hand side. You click that one, you type your regular number in as the first number, you click the right button, and then you type in 0.5 as the power there. Finn said, did you put the 3 in front of the third? Yep, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. Question number 9, guys. Drop ready in the chat when you're ready for this one. No worries at all, Emma. No worries at all. Question number 9. Hey, Aisha. Good to have you. Good to have you. Mullah is ready. Afnan is ready. Hamza.S612 is ready, guys. Let's have a look at question number 9. Quite a lot to do in this one. It says a box is in the shape of a cuboid and it's placed on a horizontal floor. The box exerts a force of 180 newtons. The box exerts a pressure of 187.5 newtons per meter squared. The face is in contact with the floor And it's a rectangle of length 1.2 meters with width of x meters. Work out the value of x. Guys, what we're going to do is we're going to use our formula over here to firstly work out our area. Then we're going to divide it by 1.2 because 1.2 times by our width is going to give us the area, so we can divide it that way. So first off, finding our area. We know from our formula that pressure is equal to force divided by area. We can rearrange this equation to make area the subject. So we can multiply both sides by A, so we have A times P equals F. Then we can divide both sides by P, we get A equals F over P. You could also think about this as a triangle, guys, with pressure, force, and area. So area is equal to force divided by pressure. Working out our area then, we're going to do our force, which is 180 newtons, divided by our pressure, which is 187.5 newtons, 180 over 187.5, guys. Typing this into the calculator, what are we going to get? It's going to simplify nicely to 0.96. Now, what do we know? We know that the area of our rectangle is 0.96. So we know that 1.2, which is the width, times by, the length, times by our width, which is x, is equal to 0.96. Now to find the value of x, guys, we can divide both sides by 1.2. We get x equals 0.96 over 1.2. This is something we can type into our calculator, guys. And when we do so, we are going to get that x is equal to 0.8. Guys, if you got that one, superb job. I'm going to give you a few seconds to think about that. Let's have a look. Five seconds to screenshot, guys. Any questions for that one, let me know. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 10. Although, guys, because you need the paper printed out for this one, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to screenshot, and then I'm going to skip it. 5. Oh, let me zoom out a little bit more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're on to question number 11 now. I've also written the answer to part C up at the top there, so you can screenshot that one as well if you'd like. Guys, I'm going to give you a little bit of time for question 11. I'm going to look at the chat for a little bit of time. Mullah said, does it matter how big the box plot is? Superb question, and the answer is no, it doesn't. So I know that I drew mine going all the way up to the top. Maybe you missed a box off the top and the bottom. Completely fine, as long as your lower value, lower quartile, median, upper quartile, and upper value are in the right places. They're not going to worry too much about how big it is. Sam said, why was it 180 divided by 187.5? So the reason was basically because we rearranged our formula to give us the new formula. The area was equal to force divided by pressure. Our force was equal to 180. Our pressure was equal to 187.5, and it said that part in the question. And from there, we could just substitute the values in, calculate it, and then carry on. Hopefully that answers the question. Zanara back in the chat says, is this higher? Yep, this is a higher paper. Great that answered the question, Sam. My pleasure. Good question, to be honest. Aisha said, is the answer 6.69 days? Let's have a look, guys. What's it going to be? Question 11. This one says that Kieran has 13 workers he can use for a job. He knows that 6 workers would take 14.5 days to complete this job. Show that Kieran has enough workers to finish this job in less than 7 days. What we're going to do, guys, is work out how many days it's going to take Kieran's people to finish the job. What we're going to do is we're going to work out the total number of human days that it takes to do the job. So it takes 6 workers 14.5 days. So effectively, how many days of human work do we have? Well, we have 6 workers. Each of them are working 14.5 days each. And 6 times by 14.5, guys, is going to be 87. So we know that it takes 87 days in total of human labor. How much time is it going to take 13 workers though? Well, we can just do our number of days divided by the number of people we have working. 87 divided by 13. 87 divided by 13, guys. We type that into our calculator and we get 6.69 as our answer. We can see that it takes 6.69 days. This is less than 7 days. Therefore, Kieran does have enough workers to finish it in less than 7 days. It takes him 6.69 days. Quite a difficult one to think about there, guys. Few people have dropped off the stream because now we are getting into the more difficult section of the paper. Any questions for that one? Let me know. Let's have a look. Tobias Wild said, I love GCSE talk. Come on. Delulu is in the chat. Good to have you, Delulu. Sam said that one was pretty nice. Okay, guys, 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 12. Question number 13, guys. This is another one that I've done for you because you need the paper printed out. However, question number 12, that is going to be a very good one to give a go. And I would say this is quite an important question. It's a topic which is very likely to come up in papers 2 and 3, or 2 or 3. So yeah, a little bit of time to do that one. Emma Kelly said, I wouldn't have gone 87 days. Hopefully it makes sense after I explained it. If you have any questions, Emma, let me know and I'll do my best to answer them. Ishi FTBL says, yes, my favorite question, parallel equals same gradient. You are exactly right, my friend. Francis Pearson said, what would this topic be called? This would be called parallel lines, and it's kind of linked to perpendicular lines. That previous topic was technically direct proportion. Direct proportion. Man like King Deluxe says, yo, rearrange to make y equals. You are exactly right. Guys, let's have a look at question 12. What's it going to be? It says the equation of line L1 is y equals 2x plus 3. The equation of line L2 is 5y minus 10x plus 4 equals 0. Show that these two lines are parallel. Guys, what do we know about parallel lines? We know that parallel lines have exactly the same gradient. So what we need to show is that these two lines have the same gradient. The general equation of a straight line is y equals mx plus c, where m is the gradient of the line. So we need to rearrange this equation here, L2, to make it y equals something, and we're hopefully going to see that the m is the same for both of the lines. So we start off with 5y minus 10x plus 4 equals 0. Let's move our 10x and our 4 over to the right-hand side. We're going to add 10x and minus 4 from both sides. We get 5y equals 10x minus 4. Next step, guys, to get the y on its own, we're going to divide both sides of our equation by 5. We're going to get y equals 10x divided by 5 is 2x minus 4 over 5. What we've shown, guys, is that both lines have a gradient of 2. Therefore, they must be parallel. Hamza said m equals 2. Yeah, you're exactly right, mate. You're exactly right. Any questions on that one? T said, I don't get it. I know a lot of people are going to be feeling that way for this question. It is a tricky one. Feel free to watch my videos on parallel and perpendicular lines. They should help you out. They should help you out. Sam said, so just simplify. Yep, you're exactly right. Emma Kelly said, why 4 over 5? The reason was because we had to divide our 10x by 5 and also our 4. So I just wrote it as 4 over 5. You could have written 0.8. You don't actually need this part for the question because it's only the gradient which matters there. Okay, guys, I'm going to skip question 13 because, again, a lot of people are going to leave for this one, and you do need the paper printed out to do it. But I have explained it up here at the top. Essentially, with a negative enlargement, or I should say an enlargement with a negative scale factor, what happens is you have the movement from the center of enlargement. You have to apply the scale factor. The negative makes the movement in the other direction, and the number multiplies the distance. 5 seconds to screenshot, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we're going to move on to question number 14. A classic EdXL question. This is a classic EdXL question, and I'm going to do my best to make it clear. It is one which schools often forget, to be honest. Let's see. Study with them said, do you have vids for compound interest? Yep. To be honest, guys, the best way to search the videos is probably to watch them on the YouTube. So all of the videos that I upload on the TikTok, I also upload to the YouTube channel, and I do them edited in a different way. So like I'm on the right-hand side and the content is on the left-hand side. I think it makes things a bit clearer because it's all a bit bigger, and it's a lot easier to search over there. So yeah, you could consider watching over there. And said, oh my days, capture recapture is so hard. Guys, this is a topic which a lot of people struggle with. I'm going to give you another 30 seconds to think about it, and then I'm going to explain it. And what I'm going to say is when I explain this one, please, please, please have an open mind, because I'm going to do my best to explain it in the clearest way possible, so that even if you don't understand it at the moment, you will hopefully understand that after I go through it. Somebody said saffron is an amazing fisher because it's next to impossible to catch 180 fish in a day, or 305 fish in a day. Yeah, true say, actually. I mean, I'm not a fisherman. I don't know anything about fishing, but it sounds quite impressive. Question 14, guys. Let's have a look. Quite a few answers are going in the chat. What's it going to be? Question 14. This one says that Saffron wants to work out an estimate for the total number of fish in a lake. On Friday, Saffron catches 180 fish. She puts a tag on each of these fish and puts them back into the lake. On Saturday, she catches 305 fish, and 45 of the 305 are tagged. Work out an estimate for the total number of fish in the lake. A couple of different ways to think about this, guys. Let me show you my favorite way. So, what do we know? We know that on Friday she catches 180 fish. And using our information from Saturday, we can estimate that 180 fish is 45 305ths of the total. So 180 fish represents this fraction of the total amount of fish. Well, how can we go from there to the total number of fish? Well, the total would be 305 305ths of the fish. So we can divide 180 by 45 to find 1 305th of the total. So we do 180 divided by 45. I think that's 6. 180 divided by 45. Oh, no, it's 4, actually. Yeah, my bad. So it's 4. And where do we go from there, guys? Well, that's 1 305th of the total. To find the overall total, then, we're going to multiply this by 305. 4 by 305, we're going to get 1,220 as our answer. So what we did was we used the fact that 180 fish was 45 305ths of our total. We used that to find 1 305th of the total. Then we multiplied that by 305 to get our overall total. Guys, talk to me in the chat. Was there anybody who didn't get that right but understands it after I explained it, or understands the explanation? Let me know, because it's a tricky question. It's a tricky question. Hey, T said, I get it now. OMG, woohoo, thank you. Hey, my pleasure, my pleasure. That's my favorite type of comment. I said this yesterday. I say it quite often. My favorite type of comment, guys, is when people don't understand it, but after the explanation, understand it. So when they go from not understanding to understanding, Darcy said, yes, get it now. Hey, that's good to hear, Darcy. Awesome. Guys, 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 15. A tricky question here. A tricky question. Let's see what you can do. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. There we go. Emma Kelly said, I divided 305 by 45, then times that by 180. Got it right though, lol. Yep, there are a bunch of different methods for capture, recapture. Nathan said, evening all. Hello, Nathan. Good to have you on, mate. Good to have you on. Guys, I'm going to take a sit back in my chair, and I'm going to go silent for a few seconds, because I've been talking non-stop. I've been talking non-stop. Ishi Football said 10K. I think you're referring to the likes. Yep. Up to 10K. Guys, a tricky question here. Sam said not my most favorite. Yeah, this is a difficult one. I gotta say, this is a difficult one. Bear with me. I think 30 seconds. I'll give people to get it. And then I will answer this question for you all. Quite a few people asking how many questions in this paper. Guys, there are 22 questions in this paper, so we are well in the way, and there are some difficult ones coming up. Let's see. Now we're up to 13K likes. Maybe we'll do a run-up at the end. Sam said, I'm stuck. Guys, drop ready in the chat when you're ready for this one. Let's go for it. Let's keep all the energy in the chat good, guys. Let's keep all the energy in the chat good. Aisha's ready. Anybody else ready? I think Sam's ready. He said he's stuck, so he or she said they're stuck. Let's see. Mana Manu's ready. Anybody else ready? Hanai Nadal's ready. Guys, let's have a look. Question number 15. We're told that the ratio of Marta's hourly pay to Khalid's hourly pay is 6:5. We're told that both Martha and Khalid get an increase of £1.50 in their hourly pay. The ratio of Marta's hourly pay to Khalid's hourly pay after the increase is 13:11. Work out the hourly pay before the increase for Marta and Khalid. Guys, I would say this is one of the most difficult types of ratio questions. Give it your best shot to understand. Let's have a look. What's it going to be? Well, we know that the ratio before is 6:5. So if we're going to write that ratio in terms of a variable, we can write it as 6x to 5x, so before. Why do we write it as an equation in this way? Because what we're going to be able to do is essentially set up an equation using our second piece of information, which allows us to solve for x. Let me show you. So before we say it's 6x to 5x. What about after? Well, now both of them get an increase of £1.50. So now Marta is going to have 6x plus 1.5, and Khalid is going to have 5x plus 1.5. And what do we know about this? We know that this is equivalent to the ratio 13:11. This is equivalent to the ratio 13:11. In other words, the left-hand side is going to be equal to 13/11ths of the right-hand side. So if this represents 13 parts and this represents 11 parts, this is 13/11ths of the right-hand side, because the number of parts here, as a fraction of the number of parts here, is 13/11. So what we can say, guys, is we can say that 6x plus 1.5 is equal to 13/11 lots of the right-hand side, 5x plus 1.5. Very difficult question here. What do we do now, guys? We can solve this equation. We're going to start off by multiplying both sides by 11. We're going to get 11 times by our left-hand side is equal to 13 times by our right-hand side. We can expand these brackets. 11 times by 6x is 66x. 11 times by 1.5 is going to be 16.5. 13 times by 5x is going to be 65x. 13 times by 1.5 is going to be 19.5. Definitely use your calculator for those, guys. Now solving for x, we can subtract 65x from both sides. We get x plus 16.5. X equals 19.5. Didn't mean that. I meant x plus 16.5 is equal to 19.5. Now we can subtract 16.5 from both sides, guys. We're going to get x equals 3. What does the question ask us for, guys? What does the question ask us for? The question asks us for the hourly pay before the increase. What do we set that up as in our ratio? We set it up as 6x to 5x. So Marta's hourly pay is going to be 6 times by x, which is 3, which is 18. And for Khalid, we're going to have 5 times by 3. We're going to get 15, guys. We're going to get 15. Talk to me in the chat. What did we think of that one, guys? That was a very tricky question. MJ, good to have you in the chat, says hi. Good to have you, MJ. Let me know, guys, in the chat. Did that one make sense? I think a lot of people would still probably not be understanding that one. Somebody said you could cross multiply. Yep, you could do it as cross multiplication as well. Okay, a lot of people didn't like that one. Spence said that was a tough one, bro. Yeah, you're exactly right. Guys, what I'm going to say, if you didn't understand that one, do not let it stress you out. Do not let it stress you out. Very difficult question. I'm not going to explain it again now because I know a lot of people are just going to zone out or leave the live. What I'm going to say is if you want to hear the explanation for that one again, feel free to watch the recording, which is going to be posted straight up to the YouTube channel. But for now, I'm going to move on. I'm just going to give you 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to move on to our next question. Lee says, it's so complex, but I low-key understand. Hey, congratulations, Lee. Congratulations, that's awesome to hear. Guys, another tricky one here. If you don't have the paper printed out, draw a quick sketch of these circles. It's only going to take you 10 seconds, and then you can do this question. It is a tricky one, I would say, but we can do it. I'm going to say be careful with these 2 lines here. Be careful with these 2 lines here. Prixer said, oh, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I thought that might be the case. Hamza said, luck's so long, not going to lie. Guys, let me know. Do you just want me to go through this one? Do you just want me to go through it? I'll set up a quick poll on the TikTok. Quick poll. Actually, no, I'm not going to do a poll. I'm not going to do a poll. Guys, just talk to me in the chat. Do you want me to just go through this one now? Or do you want a bit of time to do it? Animex said go through it. Sam said I would like to see it. Quite a lot of people saying just go through it. Okay, people are saying just go through it. Yeah, okay. Guys, let's just go through it. To anybody who really wants me to not go through it, turn the volume down and you can check your answer at the end. Question number 16, guys. This one says a shop manager wants to advertise special offers on social media platforms. The manager asks 100 customers which are of type A, B, or C. And we have a bunch of information and we need to complete the Venn diagram. Guys, let's get it done. First of all, we're told that 4 people use all 3 types. So we're going to write a 4 in the center of our Venn diagram. Where can we go from there? We're told that 16 do not use type A, type B, or type C. So we're going to have 16 on the outside of our Venn diagram. Next up, we're told that 8 use both A and B, but not C. So we can put an 8 in our A and B, but not C. That's going to be the part which overlaps A and B. Next up, we're told that 14 use both type B and type C. Now, why did I say you have to be careful with this part, guys? Because whereas in the previous one, we just wrote our 8 in, because this was not including the people who chose type C, this one is 14 who chose B and C, but that includes the people who also chose A. So if 14 use B and C, and 4 of those are the ones who are in the middle, we're going to do 14 minus 4, which is going to give us 10 people who do B and C, but don't do A. Like I say, 4 of these 14 people were in the middle group. That leaves 10 to go in this group here. 62 in total use type A. Well, we can't use that part yet because we don't have a number down here. We're told all 20 people who use type C also use at least one of type A and type B. So all of the 20 people who use type C also use at least one type A and type B. That tells us that no people use only C, and that the total number of people who use C is 20. If the total number of people who use C is 20, we have a 0 here, a 10 here, and a 4 here. We're going to have 20 minus 4 minus 10, which is 6, left over to go in that space there. Where can we go from there, guys? We can use the fact that 62 in total use type A, so we can do 62 minus our 8 minus our 4 minus our 6. That's our 8, our 4, and our 6 to find the total number of people who only use A. That's going to be 44. That's going to be 44. Finally, guys, finding the people who chose B only, what's it going to be? Well, we've now filled in all of our other gaps. We know that there's 100 people in total, so we can do 100 minus all of the numbers in our Venn diagram. So we're going to do 100 minus 16 minus 44 minus 8 minus 4 minus 6 minus 10. When we do that, guys, we're going to get 12. That's 100 minus all of our numbers. 100 minus all of our numbers. Guys, that was tricky. Nicely done, Manu. Nicely done to anybody who got that one. Guys, that was difficult. I'm also conscious that I didn't write on each of the steps, kind of word for word to screenshot. So if you do want to, if you want to hear that explanation again, have a look at the recording on the YouTube, and hopefully it will be clear once I explain it. What we basically have to do, guys, is use each of our pieces of information and then basically do process of elimination and go from there. Guys, question 16b, let's have a look. It says one of the customers is chosen at random. Given that this customer uses type A, so given that they're in the type A circle, find the probability that they also use type B. How many people are in the type A circle altogether, guys? 62. So we're choosing out of 62 people. What's the probability that they also use B? So it can be any of the people who also use B. So it's going to be the overlap section of A and B, which is going to be this section here. We can do 8 plus 4, guys. That's going to tell us that 12 people who use A also use B, giving us our fraction of 12 over 62. Guys, if you got that one, superb work. What we did there was the total number of people choosing A and B divided by the total number of people choosing A. Nicely done, Aisha. Superb work. Hamza says, can you simplify? Yep, you can definitely simplify. You could write it as 6 over 31. Either way, you're going to get all of the marks. They're not going to be too fussy with that. So you're all good. You're all good. Guys, 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 17. And I think, yeah, so I've already written out the solution to this one, guys. I'm going to talk you through the solution on the next page. The reason that I've already written it out is because I wanted to make things super clear for the screenshot, because I know a lot of people might struggle with this one. This, guys, is a difficult question. Guys, we have somebody coming in trying to troll, putting shush in the chat. Should we have a quick round of applause for Seb Rice? Guys, let's get a quick round of applause in the chat for Seb Rice, trying to ruin everybody's math revision. Quick round of applause, and then I will say hasta luego, Seb. Let's get a quick round of applause in the chat. Manu is clapping. An honorary clap. King Deluxe says woo. And Jolly is clapping. Tahir. I think I know what that means. Quite a few people clapping. Guys, next one I'll get him blocked. Don't worry about that. Okay, guys. Few moments for this one. A couple of minutes to think about it. And then we are going to go through question number 17. Spence says, thanks for explaining that question. Why is this on a non-calculator? Oh, sorry, why is this on calculator? They give you a lot of questions in a calculator paper which don't actually require a calculator. I can just say that. I'll say that. Question 17, guys. I'm going to give you another couple of moments for this one. And then we will go through it. Okay, a couple of people saying, do you halve the volume of a sphere? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I would do this one in a few steps, guys, but I think I'm just going to talk through it step by step, as in like in one go, just because I want to make things as clear as possible. What you're going to have to do here, guys, is you're going to have to use the fact that this is equal to 3.5. You're going to have to divide this by 2, which is 2 over 3 pi r cubed. I'll tell you that as a little hint, and then we'll go through it in a couple of minutes. Nice to see 17 of us watching on the YouTube still. Great to see the numbers growing slowly but surely. If you haven't already, guys, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm posting a lot of exclusive content over there. And I'm also planning some longer form videos as well as some exclusive lives. So, guys, if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe over there. The link is in my bio. Okay, guys, I think we might be ready. Guys, drop ready in the chat if you're ready, and we can go through it. JB said, can't you just do height of a cone at 3.5? Yep, but there's quite a lot going on for that. Hey, Ollie, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Mida's ready. Anybody ready on the YouTube? User 123456 said, sir, this is difficult. Yes, my friend, this is difficult. Guys, let's have a look. Question number 17. And I've written this out for you, but don't worry. I'm going to talk you through it step by step. So question 17. This one says, a solid cone is joined to a solid hemisphere to make the solid T shown below. So we have a cone and we have a hemisphere. The diameter of the base of the cone is 7 centimeters. The diameter of the hemisphere is 7 centimeters. The total volume of T, which is our total shape, is 120 pi. The total height of T is y centimeters. Whereas to calculate the value of y, give your answer correct to 3 significant figures. So guys, what we're going to do is we're going to set up an equation for the total volume of our cone. Now, what's the total volume of the cone? The total volume of the cone is going to be the volume of the hemisphere plus the volume of the cone at the top. And I didn't mean the total volume of the cone, sorry, I meant the total volume of the shape. So we're working out the total volume of the shape. What we have is we have the volume of the hemisphere plus the volume of the cone. This is going to be the volume of our hemisphere. So what do we have going on? We know the volume of a sphere is 4 over 3 pi r cubed. So the volume of a hemisphere, which is a half of a sphere, is going to be 4 over 3 pi r cubed divided by 2. What about the volume of our cone? That's just 1 over 3 pi r squared h. So we have 1 over 3 pi r squared h. The first thing we need to do is work out the value of our radius. We know our diameter is 7 centimeters, so we halve it to get our radius of 3.5. Now we can substitute 3.5 in for our radius of our hemisphere and our cone. We know from the question that our total volume is 120 pi, so we can say that 120 pi is equal to the volume of our hemisphere, which is 4 over 3 pi r cubed divided by 2, plus the volume of our cone, which is 1 over 3 times pi times our radius squared times by our height. Now we know that the thing that we're trying to work out in this question is the total height of the shape. That's going to be the height of the hemisphere, which is 3.5. That's because the radius of the hemisphere is 3.5 centimeters. Then we're going to add to that the height of our cone. And that's the thing that we're trying to work out over here. So we simplify this, what do we get? We type into our calculator 4 over 3 times 3.5 cubed divided by 2. We get 343 over 12. We type into our calculator 1 over 3 times 3.5 squared. We get 49 over 12, and then we have our times by height. What I've also done from this line to this line is I've divided through by pi. So we can divide this term by pi, we can divide this term by pi, and we can divide this term by pi. That cancels out all of our pi's. From there, what do? We rearrange this equation to find the value of h. So we minus 343 over 12 from both sides. So we type into our calculator 120 minus 343 over 12. We get 1097 over 12 equals 49 over 12 h. Then, guys, to find the value of h, what do? We divide both sides of our equation by 49 over 12. So we end up with h equals 1097 over 12 divided by 49 over 12, and we get 22.39. We now know that the value of h, the height of this cone, is 22.39 centimeters. To find y, then, the total height of our shape, we're going to do our 22.39 plus the 3.5, which was the radius of the hemisphere. So we get 25.9 as our answer. Guys, talk to me in the chat. How was that one? Did it make sense? King Deluxe said, can you do keep, flip, change? Yeah, you can, but you wouldn't need to here because you just use your calculator. Difficult question there. Midas says, is this foundation or higher? This is definitely higher. Definitely higher. AP said, made sense. X1 said, makes sense. Tahir said, inshallah, this comes up. There's not going to be many people saying that, that's for sure. Adri said, good. Carter said, oh, God, no. Yeah, going to be some mixed opinions there. 5 seconds to screenshot, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to part B. Only one mark. I'm just going to go through this one here. Bex said, juicy. I liked that. Not going to be many people saying that, but well done, Bex. Well done. Okay. Part B. This one says, the diameter of the base of the cone and the diameter of the hemisphere are both increased by the same amount. Assuming that the total volume of T does not change, explain how this would affect your answer to part A. If the volume stays the same, guys, and the diameter gets bigger, what does that mean about the height? The height would have to be smaller. The height would have to be smaller. Now, why is that? That's because increasing the diameter would increase the volume. So to make an adjustment so that the overall volume doesn't increase, you'd have to decrease that height. 5 seconds to screenshot that one, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 18. 4 marks up for grabs here, guys. We only have 6 questions to go. And actually, no, there's only 22 questions. Okay, we only have 5 questions to go. And one of them we're skipping. So that means we only have 4 questions to go. Mallah said cosine rule and sine rule. You are right. Guys, if you are a fan of trigonometry, this is a dream question. If you're a fan of trigonometry, this is a free 4 marks. If you're not a fan of trigonometry, hopefully you will be by the time I finish this. I'm going to give you guys about 2 minutes for this one, and then I'm going to go through it. Any questions, let me know. And also, I would love to take this opportunity to ask for any feedback that you guys have on the live streams. So if you could blow up the chat now, that would be absolutely awesome. Let me know, guys. Should I do anything differently? Should I make myself be in a different part of the screen? Should I speak in a different way, like speak quicker or speak slower? Should I change the design and the setup of the page? Should I change the title or any of that stuff? Guys, let me know. How could we improve it? Is there any way we could improve it? I'm sure there is. Let's see. T said, I love the lives. Hey, nice. Aisha said, no way to improve it. Ollie said, the lives are goated. Hey, come on. Nathaniel Martin said, it's perfect. G, hey, thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much. Any feedback would be awesome. Laura says, speak a bit slower. A few people do say that. Mao said, does your YouTube have subtitles? That's actually a great question. And the truth is, I'm not 100% sure, but I can check. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It has the automatically generated ones. Charlie says, is this trigonometry? Yes, Charlie, it is. Yes, Charlie, it is. Thank you very much, T. I'll say hasta luego to that guy. Don't worry. Okay. Guys, ready in the chat when you're ready for this one. Quite a lot to go through. Leah Zam said, could you possibly announce which paper you're doing before so I could have a go at a paper before you go live? Wait, before the date. Hey, that's a great idea, Leah Zam. That's a superb idea, to be honest. Yeah, maybe I'll start doing that. Chi is ready. X1 SHQ7 is ready. S is ready. Guys, let's have a look. Question number 18. What are we going to do? Question number 18. It says PQR and QRS are triangles. We're asked to calculate the length of QS, which is this side length over here. We look at this and we see that we don't have enough information at the moment based on this triangle to work out this side length. However, if we knew this side length here, then we'd be able to use the sine rule because we'd have 2 pairs of opposites. So then we decide, okay, how are we going to work out this side length here? What we see is that in this triangle, we have the opposite angle and the other 2 side lengths, and that tells us that we're going to be able to use the cosine rule. What does the cosine rule tell us? It tells us that a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos a, where a is the angle that we have, b and c are the 2 side lengths either side of the angle, and a is the side length opposite it. What we're going to do, guys, is we're going to substitute in our values and find the value of a. So in this case, we're going to have a squared equals, b and c, doesn't matter which one is which, we're going to have 11 squared plus 9.4 squared minus 2 times by 11 times by 9.4 times by cos of our angle, which is 27. We can type this into our calculator, guys. Give me 2 seconds for that. 11 squared plus 9.4 squared minus 2 times 11 times 9.4 times cos 27, close those brackets. When we do that, guys, what do we get? We get 25.099, etc., etc. That's the value of a squared. What about the value of a then? What are we going to do? We're going to square root it. So we have a equals the square root of 25.099, which is going to be pretty much 5. Let's type it in anyway. Square root of our answer, it is going to be 5.0099. So you can see what they've done here. They've tried to just tell us round that number to 5. So we now have that this side length is 5, and what we can now do, guys, is we can use the sine rule. Why can we use the sine rule? Because now we effectively have two pairs of opposites. I'm going to rub out this A here, this B here, this C here, and this A here, just to be clear. How do we find the value of this side length here, QS? Well, now we have two pairs of opposites. We have angle 41 and the opposite side length. We have angle 88 and we want to find the opposite side length. So we're going to use the sine rule, and we're going to use the version that has the side length on the top. So we're going to use the sine rule, which tells us that A over sine A is equal to B over sine B. We need to make sure that our letters are opposite themselves. So that didn't really make sense. We need to make sure our uppercase A is opposite our lowercase a, and our uppercase B is opposite our lowercase b. Let's call this side length A, then this angle is uppercase A, this side length B, then this angle is uppercase B. Substituting in our values, let's call this side length X, because that's the one we want to find. We have X over sine of the opposite angle, sine 88, is equal to B, which is 5, over sine of 41. Now, guys, to find the value of X, what do? At the moment, it's being divided by sine 88, so we're going to multiply both sides of our equation by sine 88. We get X equals 5 over sine 41 times by sine 88. This, guys, is something we can bring into our calculator. I'm going to do it just now. So we have 5 over sine of 41 multiplied by sine of 88. Guys, we type that into our calculator, and when we do so, we get X equals 7.616, etc., etc. And the question asks us to give our answer correct to three significant figures. What's it going to be? Our fourth significant figure is going to be our 6. So we round up, we get 7.62. That, guys, is going to be our answer. If you got that one, guys, superb work. Let's have a look. JB said, what if you get 7.63? They're going to be okay with that as well. DF said, why is it always sine though? I don't get it. So when we use the sine rule, it's always sine. When we're using SOHCAHTOA, which is to do with our right angle triangles, that's going to be different. We're going to use sine, cos, or tan. But with the cosine rule, we always use cos. And with the sine rule, we always use sine. Guys, 5 seconds to screenshot this one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 19. We have 4 marks up for grabs on this page. Let's have a look and see what we can do. King Deluxe said, lovely. Yep, classic question here, guys. We have our functions. I would say part A is not too bad. Part B requires a fair bit of work, though. Let's see what we can do. And after this, guys, we only have 2 questions to go. I'm going to skip question 21 just because there's or you need the paper printed out to do it, but I have written the answer on there so you can screenshot it. So yeah, we're doing well, guys. We're doing well. Not long left this evening. And at the end, you know the drill. We are going to be having our party. Part 19A, quite a few people are dropping 3 in the chat, guys. Let's have a look. What's it going to be? 19A. It says the functions g and h are such that g of x is the cube root of 2x minus 5 and h of x is 1 over x. In part A, we're asked to find g of 16. Guys, how do we find a function of a number? What we do is we swap the x for that number. In other words, we substitute that number into our function. In the case of g of 16, we're going to have g of 16 equals, then we're going to have the cubed root of 2 times by 16, because we swap the x for 16, then we have our minus 5. We're going to have the cube root of, and you can just type this into your calculator at this point, 2 times by 16 is 32, so we have 32 minus 5. We're going to have the cube root of 27. Cube root of 27, guys, is 3, giving us our answer. Now, what about part 19b? Because I know a lot of people will have already done this, and a lot of people will also not be doing this question. Let's have a look. How do we do part 19b? This is not a very common question, but it does come up every now and again. Let's see what we can do. 19b, it says find h of g of minus 1 of x. In other words, find the inverse function of g and plug that into h, and then give your answer in terms of x in its simplest form. So step number 1, guys, we're going to use our function g to find our inverse function, g to the minus 1 of x. So first of all, we're going to find g to the minus 1 of x. Now, how do we do that? What we do is we write out that y is equal to our function, and this, guys, is a process to be memorized. If you're not sure about this one, make sure to watch one of my TikToks on finding the inverse function. So we start off by saying that y is equal to our function, then we rearrange this equation to make x the subject. First off, we're going to get rid of that cubed root, so we're going to cube both sides because that's the opposite to doing the cubed root. We're going to get y cubed equals 2x minus 5. Then we're going to move that minus 5 over to the other side. We're going to get y cubed plus 5 equals 2x. And from there, guys, what are we going to do? We're going to divide both sides of our equation by 2, and we're going to get that y cubed plus 5 over 2 equals x. Now, how do we go from this to our actual inverse function? What we do, guys, is we swap our x for g to the minus 1 of x, and then we copy down our equation, or our expression over here, I should say, but we swap our y for an x, we get x cubed plus 5 over 2. So, finding the inverse function, guys, that is just a process to be memorized. If that didn't make too much sense, make sure to watch one of my videos which goes through it in a little bit more detail. Where do we go from there? Well, we need to find h of g of minus 1 of x. So we need to plug this into our function of h. What's the function h? It's 1 over x. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our g to the minus 1 of x, and we're going to plug it into h, swapping the x for our x cubed plus 5 over 2. So what we're going to have is we're going to have h, h of g to the minus 1 of x equals 1 over x cubed plus 5 over 2. What happens, guys, when we do 1 over a fraction? That was not very clear. Let me just rewrite that, actually. So 1 over x cubed plus 5 over 2. What happens when we do 1 over a fraction, guys? We just flip the fraction, so we get x cubed plus 5, or I should say, we get 2 over x cubed plus 5. So we flip that fraction, it goes from 1 over x cubed plus 5 over 2 to just being 2 over x cubed plus 5. Guys, talk to me in the chat. Let's see. How did we find that one? That was a very difficult question. We are now in the back end of the paper. I would say that one was a solid grade 8. And Jolly got it. Superb work. AK is clapping. Sherman Oaks got it. Hey, guys, good work. Good work. Very difficult question there. Somebody said, I don't understand it. I fell asleep. Somebody said, what was the flipping step? Basically, when we do 1 over a fraction, it flips that fraction. So, like the reciprocal of a fraction, we flip the fraction. Yeah. So the reason we flipped it is because 1 over a fraction flips a fraction. Okay. 5 seconds to screenshot, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to move on to question number 20. We have a 4-mark question here, and this is another one that I've already done for you guys, and I'm just going to talk you through the solution because, again, you're going to want to probably screenshot this one and see the most accurate version, so it's going to be there for you. Looking at the chat, guys, talk to me. She says that was horrible. Yeah, that was a difficult one. That was a difficult one. A really good question, to be honest, to revise a lot of different topics at the same time. So it's a really good question to do for practice. But yeah, it's without a doubt a difficult question. I am not going to debate that for a second. Not going to debate that for a second. Okay. All right. Giving you guys probably one more minute for this. And I'm going to start asking as many of you as possible to come over from the TikTok to the YouTube. I'm going to ask you to come over from the TikTok to the YouTube because when we do the party at the end of the session, it's always way better on the YouTube, to be honest. The emojis are so much cooler on the YouTube. And on the YouTube, everything's recorded, like the actual chat's recorded. So when we watch the replay, you get the emojis over there as well. So if you do have YouTube, if you're sitting at your desk or whatever, or even if you're on your phone, you can go on the YouTube one. 167 of us on the TikTok, 18 of us at the moment on the YouTube. And if you do go from the TikTok to the YouTube, make sure you let me know by putting a little message in the YouTube chat. Guys, I'm going to give you another little bit of time for this. Let's see. Some says I'm so confused with this. I'm going to explain it pretty clearly on the next page, so don't worry too much about it. Feel free to just put your feet up, close your eyes for another 30 seconds or something, and I'll make it clear. Hopefully anyway. Quite a few people thinking the answer might be 98. Guys, drop ready in the chat when you're ready for this one, and we will go through it. Drop ready in the chat when you're ready. A couple of people thinking it might be 116. Bella's ready. Anybody else ready? Anime XX025 is ready. Guys, question 21. Let's have a look. The way I've done this, guys, is I've written out the full solution, and I've done it step by step. Basically telling you that I worked out angle 1 first, then angle 2, then angle 3, then angle 4. The reasons are all down here as well. Let's talk about it. Question 20. Oh, let me just put this in the perfect space. Zoom out a little bit. Okay, now we're looking clear. Okay, question 20. We're told that A, B, C, and D are points on the circumference of a circle where the center is O. We're told that ADE and BCE are straight lines. This one here and this one here. We're asked to work out the size of angle CDE. That's going to be this angle here. How are we going to do it? Guys, whenever we have a circle theorems question like this, my advice to you would be to just write on any angle that you can work out. Write on any angle that you can work out using any circle theorem that you know. How do we do this one? Well, we start off by spotting this shape here. Now, this is classic in circle theorems question. It's a classic example of the angle at the center is double the angle at the circumference. As soon as we see this arrow shape, that's what we're thinking. So the first thing I do in this question is I work out this angle here, BAD, using the fact that the angle at the center is double the angle at the circumference. So we can divide this by 2. 132 divided by 2 is going to give us 66. The next thing that I spot in this circle theorems question is that we actually have a cyclic quadrilateral here. We have a cyclic quadrilateral BADCB. So just like that. A cyclic quadrilateral, guys, is a quadrilateral four-sided shape inside a circle where all of the points are on the circle. Now, what do we know about cyclic quadrilaterals? We know that the opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral add to 180 degrees. So we know that this angle plus this angle is 180 degrees. So to work out this angle, we can do 180 degrees minus 66 degrees. We get 114. Now, where do we go from there? We can see that CDE, which is the angle we eventually want to find, is an angle in a triangle. It's this angle here. We have this angle here. So we see that it's going to be useful if we can work out this angle here. How can we work out this angle here? Well, we know that angle's on a straight line at to 180 degrees. So using that fact, we can do 180 minus 114 to get that this angle here, angle number 3, is 66 degrees. Finally, where can we go from there, guys? We know that angles in a triangle add to 180 degrees. So to find angle 4, the angle that we actually want in this question, we can do 180, subtract our two angles of 66 degrees and 16 degrees, and we get 98 as our answer. Guys, talk to me in the chat. Did that one make sense? Let me know. Let's see. Let's see. Talk to me in the chat. Did that one make sense? Bella said that's a good question. Yeah, when you understand it, it's definitely a good question. It is a tricky one though, definitely. Vishroot says thumbs up. Awesome. Good to see. Somebody said, could you have done that differently? Yeah, a few different ways to do this one. I would say this is the most direct one. Guys, if you're in the group of people who still don't understand that, don't let it stress you out. Don't let it stress you out. Very, very difficult question there. Circle theorems is a classic topic which people really don't like. Okay, question 21 on the screen, guys. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to screenshot this one. I'll zoom all the way out. I am going to skip this question just because most people won't be doing it, and you do need the paper printed out to do it. This is trigonometric graphs, and I have written the explanation for the answers on here. The reason that this is like this is because all of the x values become minus x, so we reflect it effectively in the y-axis. 5 seconds to screenshot, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are going to move on to our final question of the day. We have a 5 marker to finish us off, guys. Let's see what we can do, and then you know the drill. End of the session, we're going to have our party. Magic Mango 99 says, I don't know why I'm here. Got my GCSE 8 years ago and just saw the TikTok lol. Hey, good to have you. Good to have you. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Mullah said I would do it by CBA. I know a lot of people are going to be in this group as well. Guys, if you just want to wait a few minutes and let me do this one, I don't blame you. You've had a long day today. English literature is a very, very draining exam. That's for sure, for sure. So if you just want to chill out now and put your feet up, I wouldn't blame you. But if you can do this question, it's a fantastic question for revision. King Deluxe said, what topic is this? This, King Deluxe, is solving quadratic inequalities. Solving quadratic inequalities. I'm going to give you a few minutes for this one, guys, and then I'm going to be going through our answer. Any questions, guys? Let me know. And if you just want me to go through this, also let me know in the chat. I know a lot of people are going to be thinking, come on, man, let's just finish and do the party. I accept that. I accept that. It's been a long day. And I don't know, guys. I think it's so much more draining when it's so hot outside. Timbu said, go through it, and says start it. Guys, drop ready in the chat if you're ready. Drop ready in the chat if you're ready. BCJ is ready. Okay, quite a few people ready. Guys, question 22. Definitely a grade 9 question. Our final question of the day. Let's get cooking. Question 22. It says find algebraically the set of values of x for which x squared minus 49 is greater than 0 and 5x squared minus 31x minus 72 is greater than 0. What we're going to have to do, guys, is solve both of these quadratic inequalities and choose the values of x which satisfy both of them. How do we solve quadratic inequalities? The first step is to solve the inequalities. And we do that by solving them like regular quadratic equations, sketching them, and then identifying the portion of the graph, which is either above or below the axes. Let's get it done. So x squared minus 49 is greater than 0. What we can see here is that we have the difference of two squares. We have one square number minus another square number. So in order to factorize this, we're going to have x plus the square root of this number. Square root of 49 is going to be 7. So we have x plus 7. And then we have x minus 7 in the other bracket, and this is greater than 0. How do we sketch this graph, guys? Well, the roots of the equation are going to be defined by the solutions to it being equal to 0. So we're going to have minus 7 for this one, plus 7 for this one, telling us that the x-intercepts are plus and minus 7. So we have minus 7 there, plus 7 there, and we can sketch it. We want the region of the graph where this is greater than 0, where is it above 0, where it's above the x-axis. So what are our values going to be for this? Well, where the graph is above the x-axis, either x is greater than 7 or x is less than minus 7. So x is either greater than 7, so we're to the right of this point, or x is less than minus 7. Let's do the same thing to solve this other inequality and see what we can get. Just going to make that a little bit smaller. This time we need to solve 5x squared minus 31x minus 72 is greater than 0. Now, technically, you could factorize this. You would have 5x in the first bracket, x in the second, and then you would, solve to work out which one it is. But I think most people in this case are going to be using the quadratic formula. What does the quadratic formula tell us? It tells us that the solutions to a quadratic are minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a, where a is the number next to the x squared, so here a is going to be equal to 5. B is the number next to the x, so here it's going to be minus 31. And c is our number on the end, here it's going to be minus 72. So now we've found the values of a, b, and c, we can substitute them all into our quadratic formula. So we have minus b, so we have minus 31, plus or minus the square root of b squared, so minus 31 squared, minus 4ac, so minus 4 times by 5 times by minus 72, and all of that is going to be over 2a, so 2 times by 5. Guys, where do we go from here? Well, here we're going to have two answers. We're going to have the answer where this is a plus, and we're going to have the answer where this is a negative. So we're going to type it in once. I'm going to type this into my calculator. We have minus 31 plus the square root of 31 squared minus 4 times 5 times minus 72. All of that over 10. We type that into our calculator, guys, with the plus, and we get 8. When we type it into the calculator with a minus, let's swap that plus for a minus, see what we get. Oh, just give me a second for that, guys. Let's swap that plus for a minus, and we are going to get minus 9 over 5. So now we have the two x-intercepts of our quadratic. So what we can do is we can draw our little sketch. We have one x-intercept of 8, one x-intercept of minus 9 over 5, and we can sketch our quadratic just like this. Again, we want the portion of the graph which is greater than 0, so it's going to be this portion here and this portion here. The portion on the right is going to be x is greater than 8. The portion on the left is going to be x is less than 9 over 5. Now, guys, how do we find our final answer to this? Well, we need to combine all 4 of our inequalities and see which our values are going to be. This tells us that x has to be less than minus 7. This says less than minus 9 over 5. Sorry, I forgot to write that in. So less than minus 9 over 5. Which one's more extreme, guys? It's going to be less than minus 7. So on the left-hand side, we're going to have x is less than minus 7. On the right-hand side, we know x is greater than 7 over here. And over here, x has to be greater than 8. Which one's more extreme, greater than 7 or greater than 8? Greater than 8 is more extreme. So that is more restrictive, giving us our final answer that in order to satisfy both of our quadratic inequalities, x has to be either less than negative 7 or x has to be greater than 8. Guys, that was a difficult one. Talk to me in the chat. How was that one I explained? Did it make sense? Let's see. Hey, Maisie said explained it very well. Hey, that's good to hear. Thank you, Maisie. Glad that helped. JB said not too bad. Difficult question. So if you didn't find that too bad, then superb work. Let's see. Just give me 2 secs, guys. Looking at the chat, Logan said, made sense, but the fact is it's only worth 5 marks is a crime. Yeah, maybe 6 or 7. Who is that putting in the party emojis? Mullah knows what's coming. Jason said, I'll answer that question at the end. Okay, guys, we have now officially finished our paper. Nabil said amazing, and you guys who are regulars know what time it is. Mullah is ahead of the game. Guys, it is time for our party. What does that mean? It means spam the chat full of emojis. We want as much good energy as possible. Let's get some disco emojis, some dancer emojis, some fire emojis, some lightning emojis. Leanne is waving in the chat. Good to see. Aisha's partying on the YouTube. Guys, I want to make the YouTube party as big as possible today, as big as possible. So let's spam that chat. Aisha's partying. JB's got the peach emoji out. King Deluxe is going crazy. Javi Football Edits is hot. Tahir has got some crazy emojis out, guys. Another day, another past paper complete. Oh, Annie Max, I think that is the best one yet. You went serious there with the party. Let's see. Javi Football Edits has got the goat emoji out. Mana Manu is clapping over on the YouTube. Francois has got the lightning out. Hamza's got the punk emoji out. Hamza's got the firework emoji out. Guys, super work. Lewis has got the silence emoji out. JB's got the silence emoji out. Hey, 222's going crazy dancing. Javi's got the chef emoji out. Sophia's got a bunch of emojis out. She's got the firework, the shooting star, the love heart, the clapping. Guys, another day, another past paper complete. You are putting in the work and you are going to be making the progress that you deserve to make. It's sunny outside. It's super difficult to revise, especially when you've had difficult exams during the day. Despite that, though, you guys are here putting in the work day in, day out. That's how you make your academic comeback, especially if you found paper 1 difficult because, guys, it was a tricky paper, right? It was a tricky paper. So I'm not going to keep you for too much longer tonight. I'm just gonna say, well done. Take another moment for yourself, another moment to appreciate yourself, because you're all out here putting the work in. You're all out here putting the work in. Cheese got the cool party emojis out. Nice, nice, nice. 17 of us over on the YouTube at the moment. Nice to see those numbers growing day by day. And 140 of us for the party on the TikTok. That's more than normal for the party. That's cool, that's cool, that's cool. Okay, guys, I'm not going to keep you for long. I'm just going to say goodbye now. Try to get some rest this evening. Try to get some rest this evening. I don't think you have many exams tomorrow. I don't think. I know physics is Wednesday, but I think Tuesday's a relatively light day. Annie Max says bye-bye. Anything else in the chat? King Deluxe said, I've got citizenship. Okay. Javi Football Edit said computer science. Okay, so there are quite a few exams then. There are quite a few exams. Yeah, computer science. Okay. So, guys, if you are doing computer science tomorrow, best of luck with the rest of your revision if you do any more. Equally, if you're super tired, I would recommend chilling the rest of the night. So, yeah, good luck with the computer science. If anybody doesn't join the stream tomorrow, good luck with the physics as well. Good luck with the citizenship if you're doing that tomorrow. And, guys, I'm going to be back tomorrow evening doing another session. I think tomorrow's going to be an AQA foundation paper off the top of my head. But I will be confirming on the story. Beck said, I'm frazzled. I'm going to bed. Yeah. That's, I don't blame you. A lot of people are going to be tired. Okay, guys. I'm going to say ciao, ciao. Arrivederci. Have a good night. And I will catch you on the next stream. Bye-bye.